Guys, welcome to Nerd Night or Nerd Talk with Z's, number 24. Yeah, 24. All right, we're getting just about halfway through the year. We, oh my gosh, first, like, oh my, I'm dying. I can't breathe. I blame the cat. All right, he's just sitting right by me, just looking at me weird.
He's like 5 feet away.
He looked at me funny. Okay. So anyway,
Sleep.
he looked at me.
Stop blaming the animals.
I'm blaming the animals.
It might be your day, but you're not always right.
What?
'Cause you're a dad. It's Father's
Oh
Day.
yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah. And
I forgot it was Father's Day, okay? I didn't forget that I'm an dad. I forgot it was Father's
and
Day.
he didn't even get to choose where to eat.
I did not. But, you know, that's normal,
It's the price. It's the price you pay.
I guess. I don't know.
Because did you ever see this? There was a video that I saw. It was like on Mother's Day where it was, it's obviously staged. Like they don't dislike each other or anything. But like the guy comes up to his wife, like it's just him and his wife in frame, and he's all like, "Yeah, I got you." He like states like these type of chocolates and flowers that he got, which are like her favorite as well. She's like, "Oh, I'm so thankful, thank you." But then it pans away and it shows his mom, and so he's like, "Here you go," and hands it to his mom, and his wife's just like, "Oh, how could you?" And he's like, "It's Mother's Day and she's my mom, you're not my mom." And like all the comments were like from the a bunch of comments were like, "He better remember this on Father's Day," but so many of the comments replying to those were just like, "We don't get anything on Father's Day anyways." They're like, "We don't even
lucky if you get socks."
They're like, "I don't even get to choose where I eat." and then we were laughing too at work because we had this guy come in. He was getting his kids were getting him shoes and all that. But then his wife got shoes too because she was like, "If he's getting shoes, I gotta get shoes too." And we're like, "But it's Father's Day." We love moms.
That don't mean nothing to anybody anymore.
Right. We love moms, but just it was funny.
All right, hitting the ground running. We're starting off with movies. All right, Disney's Pixar is coming out with a new movie next year, or in the next 2027, called Gatto, Gatto. It is an Italian-based film, animated film that. It's an Italian-based film where it follows a cat just going around Italy, I guess. I don't know. They haven't really released a whole lot of details about what the movie is about, but they did release a couple early images, and they look pretty cool. And this one is actually one of the first ones from Disney since 2011 to feature hand-drawn, hand-painted animation.
It's gonna have such a nice look to it. There's just something about them hand-drawn cartoons
they're amazing. In order to get that groove back, they actually tapped one of the legends. His name is Ron Clements. Okay, Ron Clements is coming out of retirement to help school the new generation of animators over at Walt Disney. Walt Disney Animation Studios. So he's going to be mentoring the new generation of animated filmmakers in the ways of analog, pretty much. They're going to be using a lot of watercolors, somewhat reminiscent of the Lilo and Stitch from 2002, the original Lilo and Stitch movie. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking it's going to be good. I mean, Ron Clements has a pretty good little resume on his own. Little Mermaid, Hercules, Aladdin, and so many more from Disney and across various mediums. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for this one. See how it plays out in the modern era. You know what I mean? Because this is kind of an outmoded form of media. I mean, not outmoded, but like we've come so far that they don't really.
They can clean it up, in the post. Yeah.
I mean, I hope they don't. I mean, all of it looked great back then.
I know, but all I'm saying is if some people think no, it's the high definition might make it feel weird or whatever, they can do a little tweaking so it don't look too weird.
I guess.
But I'm still for it. Mm-hmm. It's just something about it. It's just. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it's a good thing. Let's get back to make animation great again.
I think it's in our best interest that we do not expand on that.
I I concur. All right, so moving on, Avengers Doomsday. Rumors are suggesting that Sam Wilson, the character played by Anthony Mackie, is going to be the main focus, the main narrative focus for the movie. Now, right now, there's no word yet on runtime or anything. All we're getting out are trickles of leaks, rumors, and we're not entirely sure what's what. But every time something that comes out from a somewhat reliable leaker, we'll try to comment on it as nothing's confirmed yet, but we'll see what's going on. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but apparently the budget for Doomsday is like almost $1 billion. Yeah, and they're thinking it's going to need to have. They're thinking it's going to need to bring in about 2.5 in order to make a profit.
It's like they're going to have to break records to do it. Which, is possible. It's them. Like, you already know people are... You already know a lot of people are going to go see it in general just because of the fact that it's Marvel. But at the same time, there's a lot of skeptical people.
Marvel's been messing up lately, okay?
There's a lot of skeptical people that, sure, let's be optimistic and say, okay, $1 billion worth of real hard-hitting fans go see it, within the first, week or so. But then after that, if it's bad, it it might not get anywhere near there.
I know, I don't know, man, because Thunderbolts was actually I viewed that as a good movie,
and it's still
bombed. Technically it bombed. I thought Thunderbolts was a good movie.
I liked it too, and I thought it actually
storytelling and the narrative. I thought
it was all right, pretty good. Yeah. I kept hearing praise for it.
Yeah,
but then a few weeks ago, hearing. It was either the past week or this week where it's they showed how much it officially ended up making. Yeah. It's oh dang, it barely.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. That was a little bit disappointing. So yeah, I don't do we just not know what good movies are anymore? Or are we just expecting everything to fail? I don't know.
I think there's. See,
I can see why people didn't like it.
I can see. But
I don't see why it didn't. I don't see why it didn't perform better than it did. You know what I mean?
I just see a lot of people nowadays I don't want to say crap on the superhero movies in general but a lot of people kind of have something in their head now, from what it seems they have an idea in their head of what they want it to be like, and if it doesn't fit every single nook and cranny little detail, they think it's a bad movie. I guess. They just don't want to see it at that point, which is come on, what the heck.
Honestly, you know what? I'm going to come out and say it. I don't mind if the movies fail, because if they start failing, then they're going to start making TV shows.
I don't know. Now, nowadays, from the way I see it, sure, back then it used to be oh, okay, if you're not good enough to be a movie, all right, we might try to get in a TV show. But the way TV shows or just streaming shows in general are getting... They might not even. They might kind of be there at the same level to some studios, where they might be okay, we don't want to make either one because you're not doing good. So
I guess. Well, so actually, that brings me to one of the things I kind of left it off of here, because right now it's still in the rumor phases. But Armor Wars may be getting canceled because a lot of their material was taken from the script to rework into Ironheart and Vision Quest. At least that's what the rumors are suggesting, but no official. Because originally that one was supposed to be
then movie. Now it might be back into the show, but now it also might just be gone.
Yeah. Well, they took the pieces out to put in other TV shows. That's the thing. Poor Don Cheadle.
Poor Road. No more Rhodes, Boom looking for this.
I know, right?
I'm looking for you, bro.
That really sucks though. So I don't know if that one's true or not, because I'm still trying to find official word on that one. That one is straight up just rumor right now that Armor Wars got canceled. But yeah, moving on. Moana 3 is officially in development. They're getting the writers in the room, getting them cracking on that script, where I guess Moana is going to be a demigod now. Not only that, but they have also announced the release date for the live action Moana remake, July 10th. 2026.
See, I don't hate on the Moana series. They are pretty good. I enjoyed them, but
I didn't like the music in the second one.
I don't think I've ever seen a single Disney movie or get as much development as quick as this.
I know,
Because
right?
it was like Moana 1 came out, and then like a year or two later, boom, Moana 2. Before Moana 2 even came out, it was like, okay, we're getting a live action Moana. And Moana, the live action Moana hasn't even come out yet, and they're already like, okay, Rock and them are gonna. I'm guessing at this point, Rock's gonna come back for Moana 3. It's like, boom, Rock's coming back for Moana 3, all within like the span of a decade.
Yeah.
I don't think, and even Frozen was freaking huge when it came out, but not even that got like as.
I think it has something to do with The Rock.
Probably.
I think The Rock is like, all right, we got to bang this out. Hurry up, let's go.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
It probably does have something to do with the fact that The Rock is attached to this franchise.
Maybe.
But still, it's wild.
I don't know, man. Sterling Brown was attached to Frozen 2. We should get more. I'm a fan of Sterling Brown, okay? Ever since Supernatural.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he dropped Sterling K. Brown. I'm not entirely sure why. I got to read into that. But he prefers going by Sterling Brown now.
I don't know. Sterling K. Brown kind of sounds like it sounds more elegant to me. It sounds almost like a
I don't know.
almost like a jewelry store.
It does.
Sterling K. Yeah.
We're getting way off topic on this one. Anyway, so yeah, that's about Moana. They've shown the live action. They've shown some set pieces from the live action Moana, and then there's been like aerial drone footage of the Moana set, and it had The Rock in a bodysuit.
Yeah.
Why are you going to put The Rock in a bodysuit?
Because he's big, but he's not. He's like the way The Rock has it. Rock's muscle is a lot like. It's very showy, like, but for the way that Maui is, he's like Samoan. He's got that, and that is like really like not much definition. It is like huge, beefy, kind of like if you could just put. I'm trying to think who I could say this.
Samoa Joe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like basically, if you could like picture how young Samoa Joe looked, but just like a little bit like, but just bigger and like more stout. That's how he is, and The Rock can't get that. Well, The Rock probably could get that way, but overall, for his like work and the type of work he does, it wouldn't be a good move for him to do that. So like, they gotta put him in that suit.
Huh. Okay.
Otherwise, it would be a drastic change to do that. Like to go from how he is to this, like he'd probably mostly, honestly, just have to eat a lot more and still keep up some of his stuff. But the amount that he would have to eat to be able to get there, like, yeah, that would change a lot. And then for like the fact that he's kind of off and on with wrestling. A lot of fans are like are getting upset at him because he'll come back for like a day, change up a whole storyline, and then he's just gone forever, and he's not coming, and then he's just gone, doesn't even like come back to like finish whatever storyline he's coming up to. So that would even like throw a wrench in that even more if he got to the like type of body that Maui is supposed to have. So yeah, like it makes sense that he needs the bodysuit.
Okay,
because otherwise, yeah, so much.
I thought he was big enough to have the CG on his body already.
Yeah, but like
they already do CG.
Like they definitely probably could have just been like, hey, if they wanted to, just be like, hey, you're already huge as heck, we'll just keep you like that. But then some people probably would complain that he doesn't look like Maui. He's just The Rock and his, masculineness. He wouldn't have the right body type.
So moving on, Paranorman, the claymation CG animated thing from a few years ago. Apparently, it's coming back to theaters for a 1 week engagement around the time of Halloween. Release dates have not been announced yet, but they said around Halloween. For 1 week, it's going to be playing in theaters, but it is also going to be accompanied by a sort of quasi-sequel CG animated short featuring the voices of Anna Kendrick and Finn Wolfhard. Finn Wolfhard, you already know, is he plays Will. No, not Will. He plays one of the Stranger Things dudes. Yeah, and and Anna Kendrick. If you don't know who Anna Kendrick is, it's stop.
If Paranorman's coming back in theaters, I need Monster House.
Dude, Monster House would be awesome. That was a lot scarier than it should have
Yeah.
been.
We were talking
Like-
about it the other day at work, and just loving how he's all like, "What school do you go to?" And he's like, "Oh, I tried to get into that school. Like, it's an all girls school. Yeah, that's why I didn't get in."
Forgot about that part. I remember the uvula thing.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout in October for Paranorman in theaters. As soon as we know more, we'll let you know. Let me see. Frozen. Frozen, the Broadway musical, has actually shown preview images for their filmed version that is going to be put on Disney Plus on June 20th. Looks pretty good. I mean, it's Broadway Frozen. It's the same. It's kind of like the same setup as Hamilton, like when they put that on Disney Plus. So
I never watched it.
Hamilton
but-
or Frozen?
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
I've seen some of it, and they're kind of catchy. It's just I had to go to work.
Yeah.
I can see why everybody likes it.
Yeah,
I did not.
it's-
I did not finish it, so I can't comment whether or not I liked it.
Yeah, like it's definitely well put together. I'm not much of the play type person.
I'm not
And
a
then-
musical type
yeah,
person,
I'm not
but like
I don't really like
I like
musicals
Disney.
that much. Yeah. I'm not that too into musicals, and then a few of my friends kind of like talked about it way too much, like just
They
overhyped it a lot, to where I'm just like, I never got the urge to watch it. But I understand it's pretty good, like the little parts that I've seen. Like,
Oh, all right, and let me see. So a couple things from DCU. James Gunn, in response to various tweets, has revealed that Dead is dead when it comes to his version of the DCU.
Yeah.
So whoever
unless
dies,
it's part of the story.
yep. No, he straight up said Dead is dead.
Well, I saw
And then-
that, but then I also saw he
The
did a little,
Lazarus Pit.
he did a little reply saying unless it like fits into the story, which is like, okay, Jason died.
Yeah.
part of his story. He has to
that
die.
that part was part of the Lazarus Pit
Yeah.
thing.
He has to die.
He
Come back.
in another tweet, I think it was like 20 minutes later, he tweeted in another response saying that he likes the idea of the Lazarus pits and they may be used in the DCU, but he hasn't come out and said who's gonna come back from the Lazarus pit kind of thing. So I'm okay with that. If Dead is dead, if Dead is dead in the DCU, the stakes are going to be higher. I don't really like how they play with that. Like filmmakers in general, not just James Gunn, but filmmakers in general, like all these other characters and whatnot. Yeah, I understand why Quicksilver had to die in Age of Ultron, because you had to raise the stakes. But at the same time, Captain America is just a juiced dude, and that guy can move as fast as bullets.
At
on,
the
man.
same time,
Come on, man.
Hawkeye is Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye is
He's
Hawkeye.
not even juiced.
Exactly.
He's nothing.
Exactly. All right. He's
yeah.
deaf now in like one ear.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so like their logic does not make sense to me.
And to me, like I always heard them saying like, oh, they wanted to raise the stakes. How do you raise the stakes on a character we just got introduced to?
Right?
It's like, okay,
Exactly.
like if you want to raise the stakes, have a major character die. Otherwise,
like-
it's kind of just like, oh, okay, you made this character just to kill him off.
And then like in Multiverse of Badness, by then they had built up Wanda to die, like built her up as a pretty prominent figure in the MCU, and then she.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so stupid how it happened that it was just like, what?
Yeah.
Why would they give Sam Raimi this power?
The Maximoff kids do not have good deaths.
They do not. There is a comic called the TVA, and it is based on the TVA from the Loki series, where that Wanda is in a stasis pod in the TVA, and so it was like they plucked her from the timeline for some reason. So it's kind of weird. Like at first, somebody came out and said, "No, it's not her," and then they came out and said, "No, wait, yeah, that's her." So it was a little stupid. But yeah, so Violent Night 2, the uber violent Santa Claus film from what was it, last year, right?
No, it's
2
been a
years
while.
ago,
It's been a while.
two Decembers ago.
Been a while.
Yeah, featuring David Harbour as a reformed Santa, is getting a sequel, and the sequel is supposed to come out next year, 2026, December 4th.
Hope there's a little bit more backstory on him, because
Dude,
Santa was that little like brief clips we got of his backstory had me. I need more.
Oh, dude,
expeditiously.
Yes, exactly. Like, dude, the story about his hammer. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
The story with the hammer. Yeah.
I need the hammer in this one this time, okay?
And
like, Mrs. Claus was great for sending it to him, but it got there too late. Like, come on, I need to see it in action.
I want to see who Mrs. Claus is. First of all, I want to see who Mrs. Claus is.
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder? Really? we're going to team up for Stranger Things again? You know what? Okay, yeah. Screw it. I'm for it. All right.
Yes.
Not only... Well...
Or Charlize.
Charlize Theron?
Yeah.
Charlize Theron.
Charlize.
Would she be? Yeah, okay, I can see that. Anyway, I just hope that they can find a charismatic actor to become the antagonist again. Because John Leguizamo was
Michael Pena.
as the antagonist?
Yes.
I can't see Michael Pena as a bad guy.
He could be a bad guy.
I can't see him as a bad guy.
Be.
I see him as a slightly nefarious douche.
My guy,
but I don't see him as a bad guy.
My guy has acting chops, bro.
I don't doubt that. But I just can't see it.
End of watch to
you
observe and report to like, this guy's got range. He's got range. He can do it. Plus, I feel like he would jump at the opportunity to be a bad guy.
Yeah, I can feel that. I just really hope that they find that charismatic actor, because it's hard to top John Leguizamo like that.
Plus the memes of people possibly being all like, so we had John Leguizamo in this one, in the first one. Now we got Michael Pena in the second. Does this Santa just not like Hispanics?
Don't put that on Santa. But so no word yet on any of the other castings. Just that David Harbour is coming back as Santa for Violent Night, the sequel.
Yes.
Let me see. Spaceballs 2.
He could be his brother too. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
he could be a relative.
Oh snap! He could be Krampus.
Yes, Michael Pena could have I was talking about Michael Pena having a relation to like, no, they saved that for the third one.
Exactly.
Violent Night with a Vengeance.
Exactly, like just like Die Hard, okay?
Yes, the Die Hard series of Christmas movies.
Die Hard is a Christmas series.
It is.
Well, okay, the third one is not.
Finally get the
3, 4, and 5 are not.
The only one, 3,
4, and 5 are not.
3 are the only ones that don't take place anywhere near Christmas, but still, yes.
I maintain that the first 2 Die Hard movies are Christmas movies.
Of course,
okay?
Yes. You got reindeer names.
Names? Oh yeah.
The fact that it like takes place around Christmas was integral to Han's plot.
Exactly. So moving on, Spaceballs 2 has been announced. Mel Brooks, the 98
yes, he's 98.
98-year-old actor, the 98-year-old legend, I should say, is coming back as not only a director, producer, or whatever, but he's also coming back as Yogurt.
He's gonna save a lot of time on makeup.
You know what? I think he would like that joke.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
So not only that, but he is joined by Josh Gad. Yes, Samantha. Josh Gad. All right. So if y'all guys don't know who Josh Gad is,
Wedding Ringer.
Olaf, Wedding Ringer.
Yeah.
Wedding Ringer.
It was a movie that he did with Kevin Hart. It's pretty good. I like it.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
He was also Bear Claw in New Girl.
Yes.
Yeah. And also LeFou in Beauty and the Beast.
He was also I forget his name, but he was also in Pixels as the guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Forgot about that one. But yeah, Josh Gad is also on writing duty with Mel Brooks in the writing room.
I bet he's going to be Barf's son.
Is he going to be Barf's son? I thought he was...
I don't know if he's going to be. I'm just saying I bet he is.
Oh, okay.
That would be that's my guess.
That'd be kind of cool, but I haven't seen whether or not he's going to be in the movie.
I hope he
I know he's behind the scenes.
I hope he's in the movie.
He's always a good time whenever he comes on screen, so I'm okay with that. So not only Mel Brooks, but Bill Pullman is coming back as Lone Star, and he's bringing his son Lewis. No word yet on who Lewis Pullman is playing, but you obviously know Lewis Pullman from Thunderbolts as Bob, and also Top Gun Maverick as Bob. I want his name to be Bob Star. He has gone on record saying that he does not like playing Bob. I just want him to play Bob Starr. Robert Starr.
It's gonna be Sun.
Rob Sunstar? Like S-U-N or S-O-N?
That's up to the great comedian genius himself to decide. But I could see him.
Sunstar?
Yep, I could see him being Sun.
I could see that. So yeah, right. Also,
Yes.
in huge news,
This is the one that I'm.
this is the one. Rick Moranis,
Yes, that's the important
Dark
one.
Helmet himself, is
The man
supposed to
that
be
shrunk
coming
his
back.
kids twice.
Yes, and blew him up once.
Yes.
Blew up his baby once. Has been tapped to return as Dark Helmet for this new
Yes.
movie.
Let's go away.
Spaceballs 2 is shaping up to be a rip-roaring good time,
gonna be
and I am
tremendous,
so for it. I really want them to name it The Search for More Money.
I really hope
It better
is.
be called
Yeah,
The Search for More Money.
I hope it is.
All right.
If it's anything like, I get Spaceballs the sequel would be funny, but come on, it's already in the movie
Mhm.
that he said, God willing, they'll meet again in Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. And it's just it's tremendous. I've been seeing some people joke too, saying how like it is going to be sad that John Candy's not going to be able to come back.
Yeah.
But some people are saying like to further like spoof off of Star Wars, they should have Barf be the one frozen in like carbonite.
That
They just have him frozen somewhere. Have like a line of him being like frozen somewhere or whatever.
that'd be kind of funny. That'd be kind of funny.
Mhm.
I like it. Well, I could also see the family signing off on doing like they did with Tarkin in Rogue One,
Mhm.
where they CG'd somebody like over CG somebody. I could see them doing that,
Possibly.
and as like a message to his son or something.
I wonder if.
Kinda cool.
I also wonder if Helmet and them are still going to be trapped on the planet of the apes.
Oh
And-
yeah, forgot about that.
And then how are those apes going to look? Are they going to be the classic apes, or are they going to?
It needs to be
CGI up the
it
apes.
needs to be the classic apes. Okay, the more practical, especially in this current
Mhm.
era of filmmaking, the more practical, the more funny it's going to look. Okay, and it has to. If they want to go like CG, put Rick Moranis into a spider like lower spider half or whatever, like they did with Maul in the Clone Wars.
He didn't get cut in half. Like
I know that's why it would be funny.
Helmet didn't get like
I know that's why it would be
disfigured or
funny.
anything.
That's why it would be funny.
That we would need a scene of
The
him getting
monkeys did it.
disfigured. The monkeys.
The monkeys
bro?
did it.
They get nah. He's got the Schwartz. He wouldn't have fallen to them.
If they're overwhelmed, yeah.
You underestimate the power of the Schwartz.
Yeah, Schwartz.
Mhm, the Schwartz, bro.
May the Schwartz be with you.
All right, so moving
He's from
on.
the Great White North. He doesn't go down easy.
If he can survive those geese, he can survive monkeys.
Especially the moose.
Oh yeah, the
Mhm.
meese.
Yeah, the Mises.
The Mises. Moving on, final thing in the movie area. Incredibles 3 is in development. It has been announced that Peter Sohn will be directing. Peter Sohn is the director of Elemental. So, I actually really like that movie, but I know it
haven't seen
underperformed
it
a
yet.
lot. I think it's a very underrated movie. It's the premise of it is just fantastic. Like all these other elementals, they kind of live in one world, but they also kind of segregate themselves from each other.
Mhm.
And then, like, you kind of find out that some of them can mix in different ways. So yeah,
Elements do mix. That's
so-
science.
yeah. Well, like I'm talking like if a fire person and a water person touch, they
Mhm.
like explode.
Makes it
But like eventually they kind of figure out how to adjust, like I guess commingle or whatever.
homeostasis.
Kind of, yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a real. I think it's an underrated movie, and so I'm okay with this, but I'm not okay that they replaced Brad Bird. Because like, what did he do wrong in the first two? Because he directed the first two,
Mhm.
Brad Bird,
Yes.
and I don't know why he's not directing the third one. Maybe he's busy. I don't know, but he's writing the story.
Mhm,
He's
yes,
writing the script. So I'm cautiously optimistic about Incredibles 3. I'm really looking to see. I'm really looking forward to see how it goes.
I still want a time jump, just a little time jump, so we can get Jack a little bit older.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Mhm.
That would be pretty
I
good.
want to see that.
Because I think there was like
Needs it.
what 2 or 3 months in between one and
Mhm.
two.
Yeah, so
Right?
it was basically kind of just like right after it started up. We saw them chasing after the Underminer, and then like it was kind of like just a little gap
Oh yeah, like not even that long. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wait.
like I want Jack to be a little bit older, okay? Because like I want to see how that man is. I want to see how he is.
All right. In the TV and streaming world, Creature Commandos Season 2 from the DCU has been moved into production.
Mm-hmm.
So we've already been talking about the pre-production stuff already, the casting and everything that's been announced.
Mm-hmm.
So all that we know right now is that, hey, it's in active development. And yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Sticking with DCU news, Mr. Miracle is actually getting a new adult-oriented series.
Free.
Yes, sir. Scott Free and Barda are going to be.
Barda.
I thought that was her superhero name. Is that her real name? Big Barda?
I just know they always call her Big Barda.
Oh, maybe.
I don't think she has a first name. I think she's just Barda, and then it's like
Cher.
yeah, cause she's kind of like Cher.
Oh,
Because like I read the comic that is supposed to, I told you I have the trade that is based off of, and like I don't remember them calling her anything other than just like Barda or Big Barda. I think she's like Cher and Prince. She doesn't have extra names.
Huh.
Well, I mean, she technically I guess would be Barda Free now, but like but yeah.
Huh. So yeah, the show that has been announced is being produced by Titmouse, who also did like Legends of Vox Machina, The Boys, Diabolical, Pantheon, and so many more things. Not only that, but it's based on the one that you said, Tom King and Mitch Gerads Eisner Award-winning series. Tom King is also going to be a showrunner on the series, so that's pretty cool. Like one of the creators is going to be actually going back in and book slapping people with it. So that's pretty cool.
So, I'm excited for it. I hope they do a little bit better than the comic, only in the fact that like it's still a good comic, but it does get kind of confusing because it's all based around the fact that like they're living that, like Barda and Scott, they're living their life, they're on Earth having a good time, but then they get called back to fight the war that's been going on because word is getting out that Darkseid is supposed to be getting near to getting the anti-life equation. And it gets very back and forth with if he actually found it or not, and it's like a lot of the story is like Scott thinking like, oh shoot, maybe he did find it and he's using it to like play with our minds or whatever. So a lot of it gets very like, okay, is this real? Is this not? What happened? And it even ends
real life or just fantasy.
And it even ends pretty ambiguous, but it's kind of one of those things. It kind of gets one of those endings where it's like, even if this isn't real, I love the life I have because he's with his family and his kids and all that. So he's just like, so like, part of it gets pretty confusing. I hope they just like,
make clean it up a little bit more.
Clean it up a little bit, but it's so nice. I like it. Like I'm not like a huge Mr. Miracle fan, but he's pretty cool. I like it.
I've never really been a fan of the New Gods in general, so I really couldn't tell. Like Big Barda, I think is the only one I kind of know, and by extension, Scott Free.
I found out about him because of the cartoons, and then just the fact that his name is Scott Free and he's a escape artist. I was like, yes, I love it. And
his name is a pun.
And the fact that Big Barda is like 7 feet tall and he's like barely 6 foot, and it's just like short guy short guy gets the girl. Nice.
So moving on, Doctor Who is actually the team behind Doctor Who is actually searching for a production studio to help create an animated spin-off that's not really connected to the mainline series. So right now they are currently shopping the idea around to a bunch of animation studios, and that's about all the news that we have so far, aside from they're like serious about making an animated Doctor Who series. And if that's going to go on, maybe we'll get some guest stars featuring a bunch of the old Doctors, maybe some companions. It's an exciting time to be a Whovian, I think. And then we got Rose coming back. Well, not Rose, but Billy Piper coming back.
Figure out how David Tennant's going to inevitably get in there.
He's already hanging around Donna. And
he's always the one that comes back.
Yeah, exactly. He's already 14. I think 14.
Yeah.
Or other Doctor, spin-off Doctor, whatever you want to call him. He's already hanging out on Earth.
Yeah,
I mean, he can run into Billy Piper's 16.
This man's got so many versions of himself.
It's true, he does.
He's even got one that's on another universe, chilling with another version of Rose.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, they're just, well, he's human.
Yeah.
Sort of. Half human.
But he's got all the memories.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This guy's got. How many versions of him can we get?
14.
Technically 14 and a half. Still counting the other universe version.
You're counting the other universe version. That's so. I'm actually kind of excited about that. I want to see how that goes. Let me see. Stranger Things 85, the animated series, has a bunch of stuff coming out. A bunch of rumors that just popped up. Early leaks are claiming the story is set between season 2 and 3, and will feature new monsters like pumpkin head, like birds and stuff. It's really weird. The list that they had was really weird, but they are using. They have a story that was inspired by the real Ghostbusters, and with animation inspired by Arcane and various parts of Spider-Verse. So I'm guessing like when they go into the Upside Down or whatever they call it, bam, Arcane animation. So that sounds kind of cool. Supposedly it's going to be coming out next year, but they haven't said exactly when. So hoping on that one. Jack Reacher season 4 has been teased by Alan Richson in an earlier Instagram and Twitter post, X post, I guess, featuring a book from the series titled Gone Tomorrow, possibly using that as a basis for the script. So pretty cool. And Ronin Warriors, Armor Legends Samurai Troopers, is getting a sequel series, I believe January of 2026. I've never read or watched Ronin Warriors.
Haven't even heard of it.
Yeah.
This is new to me.
I've heard of it. I've just never seen or watched it. Like I know the name. People have talked about it. But yeah, to me, it's kind of like Saint Seiya. I know the name, but I just don't know what it's about.
I mean, I'm a fan of the name Ronin in general. Like I have a little like I guess you could call it fan story or whatever, but in universe where it could potentially be a tie-in to the Indiana Jones universe, where you got this guy, his name's Ronin. He just goes by Ronin. You don't even hear his last name until movie 3 or movie 2, depending how good the series would be. And that's when you find out that his dad, Short Round.
What?
And it would be basically like it was.
Oh, this is a fan fiction thing. Okay,
this is like my little story. This is my little like story that I was about to say.
Where is this written?
This is like my little story that I made up one time in one of my college classes, and yeah, like got a grade on it too. Got a passing grade on it too. But like, yeah, that's my little story. Is like it would be basically kind of like Indiana Jones stuff, adventures and whatnot, and then like the third movie or whatever, they find his dad turns out to be Short Round, and then and then like the main character Ronin's friends are like, wait a minute. Your last name's Round? So you're Ronin Round? And then the guy's like, yes. My dad chose it because he says it sounds like running around.
So Indiana Jones was named after a dog and Ronin was named after like just a play on words.
Yep, a play on words. Puns.
I love it. Let me see. The Harry Potter series casts the Malfoys, Locke Pratt as Draco, and Johnny Flynn as Lucius. I don't know who any of these are.
Neither do I. They've been making a lot of casting releases lately. Like they cast the Dursleys and all that, and just.
I didn't even see the Dursleys. I know you told me, but I didn't see the names behind them.
Oh, they even cast Brown, the Brown chick.
Lavender Brown.
Lavender Brown, yes.
Lavender Brown.
Yeah. And
is she brown?
Yeah, she is brown now.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. It's not like the movie.
It's not like the movie? Okay. It's not all whitewashed.
I'm still excited for the series. The series is going to be great.
I'm still worried about the whole casting of Papa Esidu as Snape.
Great. We either get great content, it's either going to be a great series, or we get great memes.
It's gonna be both. It's gonna be both. Like I've seen some of his stuff now. Like I've watched some clips of him. He's a fantastic actor.
Oh, I know.
Okay? He's a fantastic actor. Fantastic. It's just the way that his character is bullied in the show, like in the story. Like they straight up turned James Potter into a racist.
Yeah, like my worry about him having been cast isn't like, oh no, I don't like the casting of it, or anything like that. My worry is just
This
I hope
may be
these
problematic.
writers know how to do it. Like my worry is about the writers. I hope the writers know how to do it. Otherwise, yes, there's gonna be a lot of people because there's already
I told you
videos
about that.
I've seen.
I told
where
you
they're
about
like,
that Apple Studios,
Yes.
Apple TV series that I saw. Right?
Mhm.
We're just like, oh my god, did we do something racist?
Yeah.
We're like, no. Oh my god, we did something racist.
It's like there's already videos out that I've seen of people thinking like 4 seasons ahead, where because it's like in book 4, right, that we start getting flashbacks of Harry's dad as a kid and all that, and like just what
Didn't
he
they
was
hang
doing
him
to
upside
him. And
down by a tree?
That's like that was the main thing. They were all like. In the video that I saw, they were all like, dude, in like book 4, we get a flashback that shows Harry's dad hung Snape from a tree. So it's like, you're setting up stuff that's not going to really look well.
Yeah, it's the more I think about it, the more I'm like, this is just problematic.
That's why I'm like, my worry is on the writers. I want the writers to be able to do this, like, to come up with ways good enough to show, like, hey, yes, Harry's dad was kind of a douche back then, but not to the extent of like, I don't think I should ever like you, no matter how much Lily turned you around. No.
Yeah, I'm holding judgment on that until I see season 4 or 5.
Yeah, because I forget exactly when.
I think it's season 5 because that's when they start doing the occlumency.
Oh yes,
right?
yes.
I think it's season 5, and that's when Harry accidentally
Mhm.
glimpses Snape's memories.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Book 5, season 5.
Yes,
Potentially. Hopefully, it gets that far.
I hope it goes long. I hope it goes strong.
Yes, I hope we
But,
get
yeah.
all of them. I hope the only change they do to the series, like major change wise, is we get Sirius to be able to stay around just a little bit longer.
I mean, like,
I need more
pops up-
serious, bro.
yeah, that's true.
I need more serious.
Yeah. I want to see John Lithgow so much as a Dumbledore. I know he's cast, but I'm
Yes.
like I'm really excited for it.
Yes.
I
I can't wait for Sirius to be cast. I need to see who that is.
Who
That's my
would
boy.
be a good Sirius? Damn, who would be a good Sirius?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp as Sirius Black. He needs to be the same age as. No, he's too old.
No, he's not. Mm-mm.
He
Man
needs to.
is useful.
He needs to play around like what, 32, 33?
He doesn't look that old.
He looks old.
No,
Like, have you
he
seen, like
doesn't.
the trial took it out of him, man.
He's getting back into things, you know?
Dior gave him the rejuvenating serum.
Exactly. Ugh.
Uh,
But yeah, I don't really know who would play him, honestly. Like, I'm liking how they're doing it, though, where it's like, it's a bunch of people that we don't really know of. Like, sure.
oh yeah,
Like, I don't know if, like, English people know who they are.
Mm.
But, like, as the fact that, like, I don't, I'm happy for it. Because, yeah, it gets the whole, like, really? So-and-so is going to be playing so-and-so? Like, nah, I don't see that. Nah, it's just, I like being able to be like, okay, yes. We're going in blank. We're seeing this.
I do like that too, but I'm still like.
That's why I really liked the casting of Superman, David Cornstalk.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, I don't really know who that guy
Yeah.
is. I know he's been in
That's why I liked Brandon Routh. Like he had nothing below his belt
Exactly.
before Superman Returns,
Mm.
and honestly, he's my favorite Superman right now. Brandon Routh is my favorite Superman.
So
He's my
even,
favorite DC actor.
yeah. So even though I think Johnny Depp still could play him,
Mm.
I'm
Willing to roll the dice?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I do it. All right, moving on to the world of random stuff. Gary Oldman has been knighted by
Yes.
King Charles III.
Mhm.
Sirius Black has been knighted by King Charles
He's
III.
also a Hufflepuff.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I saw a video where they were like talking to him. They were like, "What house do you think you would be in?" And he was all like, "Don't be mad, but well, they told him, what would you be sorted in?" And he was like, "Sorted? Like, what do you mean sorted? Is this something that I don't know about? Is this a new thing?" And he even made a joke too. He was like, "I was in those movies and I don't even know."
He wasn't in the
They
first
gave him-
one where everybody got sorted.
Yeah. And they gave him a little like quick on test there, like on stage, and evidently he's a Hufflepuff now.
Oh.
So
Huh, okay.
yeah, Sirius
So-
Black.
So that's kind of funny. But Gary Oldman has been knighted, and a lot of people were asking, like, what do you do to get knighted? Honestly, you have to be nominated. First of all, you have to be in good standing in the public eye. You have to make a contribution of some sort, or to be viewed as making a positive contribution to like charitable entities. You have to be basically not a problematic dude, or not a problematic person.
Be amazing.
Yeah, you kind of have to, basically be clean on paper, kind of.
Yes.
And
Gary Oldman is all of that.
Yeah,
he is tremendous. I still couldn't tell you 100% sure that I myself am not Gary Oldman. That's how good he is. I still don't know if you're not Gary Oldman. One of these days, you could all of a sudden. All of a sudden you should cut.
So now all of a sudden we're like, is it cake? Is it Gary Oldman, or are you real?
Am I Gary Oldman? I don't know. That's how good he is. That's how good of an actor he is. And that's why he
came out of left field, man.
That's why he deserves being. I just since we're talking about Gary Oldman, I remember that meme. That was like one of the first memes I ever saw on the internet. Was just a guy being all like, he was like, oh, just imagine yourself getting home from work, you're all tired or whatever. Like he's just making a very nonchalant post about a day, and then all of a sudden he ends it by going, and then all of a sudden you hear cut, and bam. Turns out you're Gary Oldman. That's how good of an actor he is.
I don't remember that. Now I gotta go and find it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
you cannot buy being a knight, even though Michael Jackson tried.
Yes, that is true. You cannot buy being a knight. You actually have to be nominated and accepted by the sovereign of the nation. So in this case, England. And now it is no longer Gary Oldman. It is Sir Gary Oldman. So
and then I don't know if this is just like I apologize if there have been other knights before that, like people knighted in between this. But this is the first time I'm hearing about someone being knighted post Queen.
I think you're right. Well, this is the first time that it's been announced.
Least a major,
at least
least a pretty major thing as a person as Gary Oldman. Again, I apologize to anybody out there who may have been knighted, in between this and that. I'm sorry to you, sirs, or what do they call the lady duchesses? No, duchesses.
I think it's just ladies.
Ladies, or to any sirs or ladies that were, but this is, as far as I know, this is
So funny little tidbit of information. Terry Pratchett, Sir Terry Pratchett. Okay, when it was announced that he was going to be knighted, he actually went out and found all the metal in order to make the sword that was going to be knighted, that was going to be used to knight him. He got permission in order to forge this sword, and because it's against the law, in order to own a sword like that, he had to get permission in order for it to be used and all that stuff, in order for him to smelt it, all that stuff. So on the day of his, knighting ceremony, he presented the sword, and that was what he was going to be used. And then they gave it back to him, and he had to go and bury it somewhere. So somewhere in the English fields is a sword that Terry Pratchett hid because it was illegal for him to own, but it is Sir Terry Pratchett's sword. Used to knight Terry Pratchett.
That needs to be a movie, an archaeological movie, a search.
Yes. I don't know if it's ever been found or anything, but I know he hid it. So yeah, it's a little bit of information right there, little aside story.
I wonder if at any point the big three, Emma Watson, Rupert Grant, and then
Daniel Radcliffe.
I wonder if they're ever going to get knighted.
If anything, I would think Rupert Grint and Emma Watson would.
Maybe.
Because Daniel Radcliffe had some run-ins with the law at some point. But, for 2 out of the 3 to come out, out of being childhood stars, to come out like that. Pretty, plus, he's turned himself around a lot since, teenage years. So, not outside the realm of possibility, but highly unlikely for him, I think.
I still feel like just because of how big Harry Potter is, and they're the big 3.
Yeah,
it'd be amazing.
The Golden Trio.
Yes, the Golden Trio.
They still haven't
Trinity.
They still haven't announced the Silver Trio, but dude, it's gonna be hard to top Evanna Lynch as friggin' oh my gosh, I'm spacing on her name. Luna. Yeah, Luna. Yeah, because like she was my favorite character. Okay, she was weird. She made little props that did the thing, and a lot of the props she made. So it was kind of funny. But yeah, moving on. Dave Bautista and his production company Dogbone Entertainment are developing a new story called Cat Assassin from writer Steve Lerner. Steve Lerner, as y'all guys may know, wrote Stray, the random hit on PS4, PS5, Xbox, all that stuff. Little cat that gets thrown down that falls down the storm drain. Yes, that's Steven Lerner. It's expected to launch a new franchise across various mediums, animated shows, video games, published content, and yeah, it's shaping up to be a pretty big thing. Yeah. I'm excited. Stray was amazing. If they're going to be following his lead, heck yeah, I'm right there for it.
Basically, Puss in Boots, but with weapons other than a sword.
Is it?
I feel like it could be. If he's an assassin.
Like
He's an assassin. Assassin?
Assassin. Cassin. Wait, no.
Kashashin.
I feel like we're offending somebody here. with our no. We're fine?
I don't think so. I think we're good. It's all in good fun.
Oh, yeah. All right, so moving on, sticking with the world of video games real quick. A new Deadpool VR game is in the offing from Twisted Pixel and Oculus Studios.
Yes.
And it's going to feature Neil Patrick Harris as Deadpool, as well as blood, guns, and a classic 1980s glam rock soundtrack to beat the bad guys with. So I'm like really excited about it. Like I'm just gonna be watching gameplay because I can't really play VR games.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like VR is cool, but I don't know. It's just something kind of sad whenever you see a cool video game coming out and then it's like, oh, it's VR, and you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, like I straight up can't play VR games.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah. I'm sad for a different reason. Okay. I would try to play this. But yeah,
I mean, I would love to play it too if I had VR. But at the same time, too, I don't have enough room to play VR where I live. Like, you definitely need some space to play VR.
Yeah, they just clear out an entire room. Ooh, just make just get one of those big empty buildings, the storage units. Just put it out there, and we'll have like VR space.
And then
set it up.
Ryan Reynolds, in response to this, because he was ticked off, dressed up as Doogie Howser.
What? I did not know about that. I didn't know about that.
He did a little post where he was like, all right, since Neil Patrick Harris is going to be voicing Deadpool and not him, then he dressed up as Doogie Howser for a little bit, just because.
That's awesome. I like that. All right, so, and lastly, to finish out the night, Disney has taken full control of Hulu in an approximately $9 billion deal. Now, before... Sorry, Kat. Now, before, they were still kind of in control of Hulu, just because none of the other companies that were involved wanted basically to be at the wheel. So they let Disney, who had a 33% stake in it, just kind of call the shots. But now Disney doesn't have to go to seek permission or anything. They control Hulu itself. So now they're just the majority shareholders or just the only holders. I can't. The article I found was a little bit confusing on that one. So I don't know if they're the majority or straight up.
I'm pretty sure they're just majority.
Yeah, but now they don't have to ask permission before they do anything. So we'll see how that goes, depending on all this sharing and password stuff.
Yeah,
they just popped up on my feed last night. But yeah, so that about does it for all of our geek news. You said that you had wanted to do a review on the new Predator movie.
Oh yeah, we can do kind of quick because I've drank a lot of this and
You're gonna rush through it. You're gonna rush through it.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it's good. Got pee.
It is pretty good. It is pretty good. Like I enjoyed it a lot. Like you start out. It's a very, very quick to me. Like it is a pretty quick movie where you set up. It's set up into like 4 different parts. You get your 3 stories because you got 3 main characters in this. You have the Viking lady, and then you have the ninja, and then you have the World War II. Yes, World War II. No,
Yeah.
Yes, World War II. And then you have the World War II guy, which all of it, like the fighting in it, amazing. Even the World War II one, which is like dog fighting. So the World War II one isn't as gruesome as the other ones, but even still, at that point, you get a lot of gruesome stuff happens. The fighting in it, tremendous. The art is nice too. The feel, each different one of them have such a different feeling and all that. And the only thing that I would say, one of the few things that I would say is kind of like, is you kind of don't really understand why the predators get them unless you read some stuff on them. Because, like, throughout the movie, they just, like, it's all, you find out it's taking place in flashbacks because they've been abducted, they're on the plane. But you never really, besides for the fact that, like, the dude's all like, hey, like, when they get into the arena, the big chief of the predators is like, all right, you three are going to fight each other, and then the winner's going to fight me. Other than that, it's kind of just like, but why? Like, if you've only seen all the other movies, you just know, like, oh, like, if you happen to take down a predator, to them, you're cool, and, you just don't get messed with. So why are they going after these people? And so the only reason why I know why they went after him is I read other stuff online and like you see other videos. So that's like one gripe that I have with it is like the story is nice but doesn't always feel like it's giving you the information you need. Because like I get the feel that like if Uncle Phil or a few others watch this, they too would probably be like, if they only watch like the movies and whatnot, they too would probably just be like, why are they hunting them down? Why did they capture them? And it's all just based on the fact that, like, okay, these particular group of predators that we are watching in this movie are the unhonorable ones that do, like, even though it is known, like, okay, if a human manages to take down a predator, they are now, like, treated with honor. They do not mess with them. They do not come back for them because they actually managed the unbelievable task of taking down a predator. But these ones, no, they want to be the killer of killers. They go and actively seek them out. And then, too, my other gripe, the ending feels very, like, meh to me. Like, it gets you up, you're amazing. Two people look like they're going to be able to get away. They're on a ship, and then the, like, predator boss is just like, all right, let's go hunting. And, like, you still see the ship in view going away as, like, a freaking armada of other ships look like they're going to go after him. And then, boom, that's it. It just ends. And you're just like, oh, man, like, maybe
Badlands supposed to feed into it or something.
Maybe, hopefully, because like it all just like the ending just felt very like. Other than that, like to me, it felt very like, what the heck, man? Come on, like
it felt like too big of a cliffhanger for them not to have something else announced.
Yeah, it felt like too big of a cliffhanger because it's just a very like very quick and very just simple story. Like, but I like it. It's very nice. Like you got the individual ones where it's the Viking lady is trying to get revenge on a guy that killed her dad, bested her dad in combat, but forced her to have to stab him as just a little kid, which was pretty nice. And then she's upset too because you know what? I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but like so you got that one, and then it pulls out. You see the Japanese guy in there going through his backstory his whole story is just how like him and his brother were raised to be like to be warriors and whatnot, and it got to a point where eventually one of them could become a samurai, but they had to fight each other to do it. And the main ninja guy that we're following, he's like, no, I'm not gonna fight my own brother. So he kind of like gets exiled because of that by his dad. So like his story arc is pretty cool too. That little story of like getting redemption. And then you got the World War II guy who basically his is just kind of like, okay, his is like, basically the coming of age story because he's a real little kid going into World War II, and he gets drafted into World War II, and it's like it starts off with his dad just being like, look, I've bailed you out so many times and all that, I've taken care of you, but now you have to learn how to take care of yourself, get yourself out of trouble. So like his little thing there, his story there is really nice. I feel like I probably would have liked it better if it was just like those three ones. And then like because like the ending part of them on the planet is cool, but again, like I said, it just like it ends so quickly that I'm like, man, why'd they have to include this? Like, couldn't we have just had these, like these 3 stories, and then like maybe end with the whole like they're on a ship, they're gonna be in an arena, they're gonna go after it, like they're gonna end up having to fight each other to like do this or whatever, and then maybe in there that would have been kind of cool. But other than that, it gave me a little bit like an unfinished vibe. Kind of like the developers were told like, hey, we're running out of stuff, too. You have to end off here. We're running out of funding. It has to end.
That's a little disappointing.
But I still like it. I would give it a very nice like 7 out of 10. Very nice 7 out of 10.
All right.
Very nice. I enjoyed it a lot.
Nice. All right. So Predator, Killer of Killers, 7 out of 10. All right. That about does it for our geek news and reviews for tonight. We will see you guys next time. If you like the Rating to Mad Men, go ahead and give us a like, follow, share with your friends, and later.
Peace.